Motivation is waiting until you feel like doing something before doing it. Discipline is doing the thing regardless of how you're feeling about it. Ali's tweet speaks to Stephen Pressfield's concept of turning pro, which is basically changing your life in such a way that your passion or endeavor is taken seriously. Turning pro means exercising discipline over motivation, i.e., showing up even if you don't feel like it. This concept really hit me a couple of days ago when I was finishing up my office work after hours. I knew I had to stop preparing for this week's YouTube video right afterwards, but there was a split-second moment where I thought, what if I just put that off and watch Netflix instead? But then the thought hit me. I always show up for my day job, even if it's after hours. This is work that I don't necessarily want to do or I'm emotionally invested in, and if that's the case, why can't I show up for the work that I actually want to do? Why do I treat this channel like it can get blown off at any time, when I wouldn't treat my day job in the same way? This is what it means to turn pro. It means treating your personal work with the same gravitas as you would any other work that you are paid to do. But I can argue that the reason I show up consistently for my day job is because of the nice paycheck and the other perks. Conversely, a side hustle or a passion project can be demotivating, especially in the beginning when you don't see results. As I was questioning my own intentions for working on Design Draw Do, I wrote in my journal, I've not hit the numbers to monetize. I've not got consistent commenters. In fact, each time I release a video, I think that it might as well be for an audience of crickets. Over the last 10 plus years, I have started several social media accounts, whether on Twitter, Instagram, or even on TikTok. As much as I hate to say this, there would always be a part of me, sometimes large or sometimes small, which wanted to be social media famous. I've always been someone who has chased the big numbers. Needless to say, nothing really worked out, and I'm really glad that it didn't because I think that those string of so-called failures have been preparing me for this moment. This is where I think YouTube, and therefore Design Draw Do, differs, because unlike other social media platforms, YouTube has kicked my butt to make me into a pro. As you can imagine, with the amount of effort that goes into making videos, the barrier of entry to YouTube is so much higher than any other social media platform. This in and of itself makes the endeavor much more meaningful. Because of the sustained effort that I need to keep putting in each week, I realize that I need to enjoy the process of doing this, so I'm actually creating videos as much for myself as I am for anyone else. As I continue to explore what kind of videos I want to make, I start to unlock more of my own thoughts. I gain a better understanding and a deeper appreciation for my own creative self, something which never really occurred to me when I posted a superficial painting on Instagram and somehow hoped that it would take off. YouTube allows me to dig deeper under the surface of hashtags or a pretty aesthetic. The incessant desire to amass a huge following slowly diminishes as I lose myself in the process of the creative act of making. As I continue to make content for this channel and the brand as a whole, I realize how much value this work gives me. It's the work that only I can do. No one can replace me. It's a specific niche that I have carved out for myself, and I think it's so important that we all do this for ourselves. It's really easy to get swept away in the monotony of life, particularly in how society molds us, and it's so important that we can find the work only we can do in order to break free of these molds. In short, I have found my reason to turn pro, and that is that I am making these videos as much for me as I am for anyone else. They're the videos that I want to see or hear about. They're videos that I look back on and think about how much I needed this advice, and they're videos that I can be proud to leave behind as my proof on the internet. They are videos which prove that this is the work that only I can do. As I'm internalizing this concept of doing this channel for myself, I can start to enjoy the process rather than wait around for someone else to validate me. I understand that if I should have an impact on anyone, it should be myself. If I am to leave a legacy for anyone, it should be for myself. And anyone else whom I can inspire along the way is just icing on the cake. I'm actually in the process of making a much more structured video about this concept of finding the work that only you can do, which should be released in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, you can choose either one of the videos below if you want to continue your creative explorations. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.